Hello everyone, it's autumn on the calendar and probably many of you are missing those summer days when the sun was shining and we all could enjoy its warmth and beautiful sunny days. Today actually I have a great chance to come back to summer because we have a wonderful weather. It's very warm, it's approximately 20 degrees above zero, and I decided to use this chance and make my video at the seaside. At the moment, I'm walking along this twisted path, which is surrounded by many tall pine trees. And actually, it's a very special place because whenever you come to the seaside, you at once could feel this fresh air and breeze that is coming from the sea. So it's really, really very pleasant. So this path leads to the seaside. Please follow me. Here we go, guys. We are next to the seaside. It's quite windy in here, but it's not cold. The wind is not cold at all. Oh, we have a lot of kiters today. Have a look. What a wonderful view over there. People are kiting on the waves. Nice. Okay, so I decided to focus today in our video on the vocabulary, guys, that we can learn with you at the seaside, right? So what words, English words, we can learn with you related to the sea? What can we find at the seaside and what can we do at the seaside? So the first word that we'll start with will be sand. At the moment I'm standing on the sand. It's very smooth. Yeah, very soft, and I can make footprints on the sand. Yeah, here you go, my footprints. I can make a lot of footprints on the sand. Okay, a lot of sand we have on the beach. Actually, the whole beach is full of sand. If you look over there, you'll find dunes, those hills of sand. They are called dunes. Lots of dunes we have all over the place. Okay, so what can we find in the sand? If we come a little bit closer to the sea, it's a very pleasant feeling when you're walking on the sand, very relaxing. So if we come a little bit closer, what can we find in the sand? Here we have a wet sand. Yes, there was dry sand. Here is wet sand because water is nearby. So what can we find in the sand? We can find a lot of shells. They're hiding here in the sand, but we can find them if we have a closer look. Here you go. This is shell. And there are lots of them here. Some of them are broken. We can find little pieces of shells here. Some of them are big, some of them are small. Shells. Lots of shells in the sand. Also, in the sand we can find a lot of little pebbles, stones, little stones or pebbles. Here we go. You know, there is such a game when you can, if you find a very, very smooth pebble, yeah, little stone, and you can throw in the sea and it will jump on the waves. I'll try to do that, but I'm not very, skillful at this, let's come closer. I can't do this, but some people can. You throw this pebble and it jumps. Maybe you can do that. So I already came here. I'm now at the seashore, and this is the coast of the sea that stretches long over there, far away over there. Yes, so this is the seashore or the coast of the sea, and I already felt water with my feet. Do you think it's cold or warm? Let's try one more time. Oh, the water is quite cold because the Baltic Sea is a cold sea. So there are a lot of waves in the sea right now. Yeah, it's not stormy, but it's quite wavy, right? So there are lots of waves. Have a look, waves. And it's good for kiting, by the way. Those guys are really, really lucky. They have lots of waves. They can kite. So inside the sea there are a lot of creatures, yeah, like different fishes. And there is another very special thing the Baltic Sea, guys, has. It has amber. Here I have a little piece of amber. This is the heart. And on this heart you can see my zodiac sign, and inside you can see little pieces of amber. So there is a lot of amber in the Baltic Sea. Yeah, it's full of it. And we are proud that we have it. Because out of amber we can make different, jewelry, like different necklaces, yeah, from amber, earrings from amber. So different jewelry we can make out of it. Okay, also we have seagulls at the seaside. Seagulls, these are birds that actually we can find at the seaside. At the moment I don't see any of them. They're probably hiding somewhere, but usually next to the sea there are a lot of seagulls, and you can actually hear their sounds, yes, how the sounds of the seagulls. Okay, let's maybe move a little bit here, because kiters are all over the place. A lot of them today. Okay, so we've learned with you many words today, like sand, right? We've learned with you words dunes, those hills of sand. We call them dunes. We've learned with you what can we find in the sand, right? We can find like shells. We can find little pebbles in the sand. We've learned with you the word shore, the seashore, or the coast of the sea. We've learned with you word waves, lots of waves in the sea. We've learned with you word amber, that's what we can find inside the sea, amber. Yeah, amber in the sea. We've learned with you the word seagulls. We don't see them today, but these are birds that we can find next to the seaside, seagulls, right? What about some action words? What can we do at the seaside? Yes, we can do lots of different sports, right? But also the very first thing, of course, that all people do at the seaside is sunbathing, right? Oh, we have a dog here running. So sunbathing, it's when we are lying and just sunbathing in the sun, right? The sun is shining and we are sunbathing, and then we get tan, right? The sun tan on our skin. We can also have a walk, yes, next to the seaside, just walking, have a walk with the dog, right? We can do sports, as you can see, like kiting. One of them is kiting. People are kiting at the sea. Yeah. Also, we can jog. We can do jogging at the seaside. Yeah, we can play volleyball. We can play football at the seaside. What else can we do? Maybe you have some suggestions. So if you have some other ideas what we can do at the seaside, you're welcome to share and leave them in the comments. I'll be waiting for that. What other things we can do at the seaside, or maybe what other things we can find at the seaside. Okay, so I'll be waiting for your comments, and let's move on. Okay guys, I found a very cozy place here in the dunes, and I have my little collection of shells that I found in the sand, and I'll take home. So I thought, since we are next to the sea, I'll tell you the story. Have you ever thought why the sea is salty? Because we all know that water in the sea is salty, and how it happened like this. Have you ever thought about that? Let's listen to the story and you'll find out how the sea became salty. So get your ears ready and let's start. A long time ago, water in the sea tasted like an ordinary water. It was tasteless. There was a village and villagers lived in there, and they didn't have any salt. Whenever they cooked their meals, they couldn't add any salt in there. But they knew that there was an island where the big giant lived, and that giant had huge caves of salt. So sometimes villagers were sailing to the giant's island to get some salt from him. However, one day the sea was very stormy. There was a huge storm in the sea, and people couldn't use boats to get to the giant's island and get some salt from him to make their meals tastier. They gathered together and they started to think what to do. They were thinking and thinking, and one little boy suggested an idea. He suggested to ask the giant to stretch his long, huge legs so that people could actually cross the sea, through his legs from the villagers' village to the giant's island. That was a great idea, actually, that all villagers liked. They came to the coast of the sea and they started to call the giant. "Hey, giant!" villagers called him. "Can you stretch your legs so that we could reach you and get some salt? Because the sea is very stormy." The giant was very, very kind, and he heard villagers and he decided to help them. So giant stretched his long, huge legs so that villagers could cross the sea and get to the island to get some salt. However, when he stretched his legs, they landed on the ant hill, where there lived lots and lots of big red ants, and they were biting feet of the giant. So the giant was, very, very strong. He had a very strong will, and he was waiting until people could, cross the sea through his legs. And he was waiting, although those little ants were biting his feet very, very badly. So when people reached Giant's Island, he pulled his legs back and started to scratch them because it was very itchy, it was very hurtful because ants were biting his legs. But fortunately, he was able to let villagers get to his island and get some salt. So they put the salt into the bags and were ready to get back to the village. Again, they asked the giant to stretch his legs and let them pass the sea. And again, giant stretched his huge legs. And again, they landed on the ant hill. This time, villagers couldn't move fast because they were carrying those heavy sacks of salt, and they were going along the giant's legs, right, and the giant's feet, and they were moving very, very slowly with their big, big sacks of salt. But the giant was screaming and asking villagers to hurry up because it was quite hurtful and it was itchy because the ants were biting him. So he was pleading and asking villagers to move a little bit faster, and the villagers were a little bit surprised because they couldn't understand how that huge giant can be bothered by such a little ants, right? So they were kind of, surprised, and they were moving slowly, and not hurrying up. So the giant was waiting. It was very itchy, it was very hurtful, and he couldn't wait anymore. So he pulled his legs back. And what happened? All the villagers with their sacks of salt, they fell into the water. And they spilled all the salt all over the sea. Of course, Giant was kind and he helped all the villagers to get from the water. He collected all the people from the water, from the sea. But the salt he couldn't collect because it spread all over the place and he couldn't get it out. So from that time on, the water in the sea became salty. Yeah? So now our sea is salty, and we of course can't drink such water. So that was a little legend, that was a little story about how the sea became salty. If you liked it, and if you like our day, yeah, that we spent today next to the seaside, and I hope you've learned new things and you've seen, beautiful views today. So if you liked this time spent with me, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel and put a big like. And of course, don't forget to leave comments, right, about what can we do at the seaside, or maybe what else can we find at the seaside, and leave your comments. I'll read them and I'll answer them. So see you soon again, and enjoy your day.